Rust. A game where murdering innocent people, stealing their items, getting chased by bears and gathering resources is part of the everyday life. If you never played this game before, the first part of the video is for you, but if you just want to check out my base building, skip ahead a bit. This game is a survival game where your only goal is to survive, grow powerful and get a home where you're protected from wildlife and other players. To do this, you gather various resources that are scattered everywhere to build your own home and create your tools and weapons. There are also other ways to get items, like killing radiated animals, looting radiated towns, or simply rob other players. And of course you also have the regular airdrop. I could basically end this video here because this is what the entire game is about, but instead of doing that I'll give you a tip on how to best loot the radiated towns. What you'll first want to do is create a small shed with a metal door and some storage boxes. It's also important that you use a weapon with a flashlight attached if you found one of those. Then you just go to the rad towns and start grabbing the things you want. And get rid of the crap you don't want. Then you just head back to this temporary shed you built and start putting the stuff in the boxes. If you can, try to have one storage box full of radiation suits. It will ease your travels a lot. Once you have a decent amount of items stored up, wait until nightfall. And then you run back to your base, which is hopefully close enough. Try to memorize where it is located so you don't need to use flashlights or torches more than necessary. Hopefully you made it back to your base without a hassle, and now you have a lot of nice items to play around with. The spikes you saw outside my base is not just a great defense, you can also use them to trap people inside their homes. But of course you will also get that fuzzy and warm feeling in your stomach when you wake up and see this in the morning. One thing I really like about this game is that you can build really tall buildings, and as you can see here by following my shadow, this tower I built was pretty tall. Now this is where my short little review of this game ends, and if you want to you can continue watching it and I'll show you a little bit of building tips and show you my big huge base, which almost never got raided. So please stay a while here and listen to what I have to say now. Did you like advertising in the middle of a YouTube movie? Well, I don't. So that's why I'm gonna make this short. Buy this movie now and save your... I'm just kidding, don't buy this crap. It's horrible. Hello everybody who decided to stay this long in the video. What you see here now is my first version of my base, and as you probably see here it's not very well developed. I added some spikes around the base and someone tried to raid me here, so I put some spikes in the stairs too to prevent them from climbing any further. And well, I don't have so much more to say about this area right now, but this base lacks one key feature and I'll show you that in the next version. But as for now it's just a big base, and oh, this area was a huge problem because someone put a sleeping bag there later, but I fixed that and built them in. Anyway, well, this is the first version of my base and you'll see a lot of changes to it over the course of this video. One thing you notice here is that aside from the spikes I've added both inside and outside, I've also added a lot of doors. And the spikes are here to make raiders hurt themselves and waste first aid packs or maybe die in the best case. And the doors are made to make people waste their C4s. Because if you waste a lot of C4 and get nothing in return, eventually most people will just give up. So that's what I aimed for with this base, to create a shitload of doors and spikes just to annoy everyone. And also, if you come during the dark, it's almost impossible to see the spikes unless you're wearing a flashlight, and even then it's kind of hard to spot them. So yeah, adding spikes to your base is a must, especially on the lower floors. Now, what you see here is the starting room where everything started. This was just the one room once, and I remember that some people used to raid me in the start when I was new, and I only had this room and the room next to it, so they stole everything I owned and I get angry and almost didn't want to play. But now I added a third room there, as you saw, with spikes, so they're gonna have to go past through there if they want to take that route. But it doesn't matter because those are empty, crates are empty now anyway. So, well, that was the first floor of my base. And now I'm gonna go up into the second floor. And this that I created here is a storage room, and I used this as my main storage room first. But later on I moved it a lot higher in the base. But it did for now. And I also had some windows there to kill people who were sniping me, but it didn't go so well because I only had a hunting bow and they had machine guns, so I was pretty doomed from the start. And if you check this out, oh, that's the spikes I was mentioning before. And if you check this out, this is where I have my stairs. And as you can see, I have no bars on the windows, but that's just because I'm at this point of the video I was still building it. But well, that's my tiny little base here. And as you can also see on the third floor here, which I'm walking on, okay, now I'm walking on the fourth floor, which doesn't exist yet, but anyway, I've added a lot of spikes and stuff in the third floor, and you'll get an explanation to that later. For now, they're just there as a decoration and to keep people away from the windows. And now it's time to see the second version. Now I've upgraded my base a little bit here, as you can see. I've added some foundations outside with pillars on, and some of them also have spikes to keep people away. These are made so that raiders cannot build anything outside your base. Usually you should have these closer to your base, but since this was my first base I didn't get it quite right. And also a good thing is if your base is a square block, which mine wasn't, so I had a lot of gaps and stuff in my base. But anyway, I've had a lot more spikes now, as you can see, and I've added some floors. And these things are really helpful because they prevent people from building towers and jumping up from above. Well, as you see, I built quite a lot of them, but you should actually try to build these pillars higher, which I will do later on, because then you'll prevent them even furthermore from entering your base. But for now, this will do. You can't build Rome in a day, as they say, or TommyDaGreat's base. And well, I'm gonna skip the first floor because you've already seen it. Now I'm back here at this big stairwell that you can see here, and I've added some metal bars to all the windows, and the same goes for this room. This was where the spikes were before, and they still are, but now I put bars on all the windows so people can't approach from there. And I've also built this spike wall here to trap people. It's still not finished because you can still jump up on them and escape, but I'll add some improvements to that later in the video. But for now it's at least a good way to trap people and give them a lot of damage, even if it's just temporarily. And now I'm heading up to my new floor. This is where I was walking on the roof before, but now this is actually a floor. And if you check this out, I put some spikes there to make it harder for raiders, and I'm gonna fill this floor with doors made of metal, of course. And it also has some sniping positions here, so if someone tries to rob me or if I just feel bad, I can kill people from afar. And well, I've actually never had much use of those. People can still hide beneath me though, so you need to kill them before they approach too close. And here some raiders put a barricade up, as you saw there. They tried to raid me, I had no idea why they put it there. And as you can see here, there are a lot of storage boxes, and that's because people will think that, oh, there's a lot of things in there, I'll jump down, and then they get trapped and die. And I'll also expand on this to the next floor, but that's for the next version of my base. Time for my third version of this base, and I'm gonna show you now how this falling pit ended up. Now I'm 2 floors above it, and as you can see, you hardly see the spikes. And from another angle, you will never notice that you will get trapped. I also had a trap here, so if you jump down there, you'll also get trapped between 2 spikes. You're gonna find a lot of spikes in my base, by the way, so be prepared to see them a lot. And there you can also die if you want to, but I'm not. Well, actually I am. I'm gonna show you how this trap works. Just gonna put my inventory away first, because I don't want to lose this. And if someone decides to jump down there to grab all these boxes, this is what they'll find. They're completely trapped with windows, bars and everything, and there my torch went out, and I'm bleeding, and I'm dead. Which is exactly what's gonna happen to those who try to rob me. I also took the liberty of building a tower now. Not only does it look cool and I get a nice view of everything, but it's also a great way to find your base, because when I'm running through the woods in the darkness and everything, I just see this tower and then I head for it. It's really great to have this. And it especially eases up my travels when I'm doing these night raids I told you about in the rad towns. And now I reached the end of that tower. As you can see, it's pretty high, but this is nothing compared to how it will be when I'm finished with it later on in the video. And you'll also get a nice little bonus shot from that place. But I'll save that for later to keep you entertained. Hopefully my talking isn't boring you. Anyway, you see I've covered these walls in spikes in the floor above. Maybe you didn't see, but now you know they were. And I've added a lot of doors now. And the doors are really important because they make raiders waste their C4 ammo. And if they run out of C4, then your items are basically safe, because they can't proceed. And here is this part with the falling pit. I've added a lot of doors, like I said. Every single room is added, almost every single room. I've added a door here too, so that they're gonna think there's something behind it and crash it and jump down. Like I said, I've improved this floor a lot. And I also tend to put all of these storage boxes around, because if someone sees through the cracks or through a window and see a lot of storage boxes, they're gonna go like, oh, there are storage boxes there. Go there and blow a hole in the wall and loot everything we can find. But almost all of my storage boxes are empty. And this has actually helped me, because I once got raided on my first floor, and they only went up to the second floor, and they didn't take almost anything because I almost had nothing in there. So they gave up and just left the base alone. I still had to replace the front door though, and that was sad, because that front door and me, we had a lot of adventures together. I kind of miss it. But anyway, now I'm at the first floor again, and you see here that I've added some gates. I don't remember if those were in version 2, but anyway, it's really important to have, because it keeps people away, and you can also have the spikes surrounding them. I have also added these doors. That's a nice shot of my tower. I've also added these doors, as you can see, to each of these, and that's because I don't want to pay for the decay all the time. So every time I open and close a door, the decay of this tiny little foundation will get back. It will reset, so it won't be decayed, and that way I don't have to waste any wood on repairing these things. Oh, mighty pillar of light, soothe me in your light and protect me from the darkness, and so on and so on. And as you can see, I've added tons of more spikes and these door pillars here. And I'm gonna, for some reason I was jumping when I recorded this. I don't remember what I had to say, but this gate was anyway important. And now I added some more things to this floor, as you can see, some more boxes and stuff. And I also have a nice little secret. Oh, you see these doors here? They were not there before, and like I said, I bombarded this entire place with doors. So if someone tries to raid me, they'll not only find a lot of pointless floors with spikes and empty boxes, they'll also get easily confused and have to waste a lot of the C4. This was one of my main rooms for a while, and I put up this barricade here next to my hidden loot. The hidden loot things are really useful because I've been raided once or twice and they never saw the things in the hidden stashes. So those are great and never underestimate them. I see people throwing them away in the rad towns all the time, but I have no idea why, because they're like extremely nice if you want to keep your stuff. And I'm starting to reach my new floors now. This floor that I'm showing you right now, it's just basically an enormous floor filled with spikes in the walls. You can do this by building the spikes first and then add the walls. And I built a lot of bogus rooms too, as you saw there. They open the door and find just a barricade. And there are spikes everywhere. And to be honest, this entire floor is just completely pointless for the raiders, because there's absolutely nothing of value here. The only thing they're gonna do here is waste a lot of C4, run into spikes, start bleeding, yelling that this base is hell, and hopefully maybe they'll give up. And this is my main floor here, as you can see now. Now here I have tons of storage boxes too, and I actually used this until the server went down, but I continued to build my base higher and higher. And that's another thing, try to keep your loot areas in the middle of the base or close to the bottom, or well, just not in the top or immediately at the bottom, because if someone enters from the bottom of your base, then they're gonna get everything you own. And if they enter at the top of the base, then they can just jump down and grab whatever they want and escape. So that's a really bad idea. Most people expect to find the things in the top of the base or in the bottom of the base, but they never expect things to be somewhere in between, and that's why you should try to mix things up. Maybe you should also split your loot rooms up, so you have like resources in one room, and then you can keep your weapons in another room and another floor of the base. And here you see I'm keeping my bolt action rifle so I can snipe people, and it's really handy to have there. And later on I also added a sleeping bag there, so if someone killed me I immediately respawn there and could kill them. Most of the times anyway, or maybe not a single time actually, but the idea was good. The problem was that I had another sleeping bag, so I never respawned there until the second time I died, and then they were already gone. But if you don't have another sleeping bag in the world, then this idea is great. And here's my top floor for the moment. The moment I made this video, I mean. And I'm gonna expand on this a bit more. The fifth version of my base, I don't have a lot of footage from, only this one. And I'm just gonna brag about how tall my tower is right now. I know that there is a video on YouTube for someone who's climbing a tower for 17 minutes or something, but I think my tower is still pretty tall. And as you can see here, I'm following the road. And well, that's where it ends. So that's about, oh, and you can use it as a solar timer. No, I'm not religious. I was just very bored when I made this floor. I actually expanded on this and added another 5, 6, 7 floors maybe, but I didn't get any footage from that before the server went down. And I also covered these because raiders were using them to enter my base, but they got away with only a bolt action rifle anyway, so it wasn't so bad. And as you can see here, I made one upside down too, because I felt evil. And I wanted to give mixed signals to everyone. But these didn't turn out so great anyway, because when you saw them from below, the wood and the pillars and stuff behind those crosses turned out brown, so you could hardly spot them. The only thing you saw were those windows, which the raiders used to raid me. But, oh, and now I'm getting attacked by a wolf. Woof. Yeah, this kind of ruined my recording a little bit, as you can probably understand. But that's another nice thing with all these spikes I have here. The creatures like wolves and bears easily get trapped there. So if they hunt you, you can just run away, and then they will get stuck. And that's a relief for you, especially when you're out gathering resources. And now you can see it's getting dark, and my video is about to end. and I hope that you liked what you saw here. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, or even better, add me on Patreon and start patronizing me. I love to make videos like this, but I just don't have time or money right now, so any donations are welcome to help me achieve this. Then I can spend all my days on this. But I hope you liked this video, and that I'll see you in the game Rust.